Such a joy to be together. As usual, we'll start with a question that's come in advance from our online community. And then we'll open it up to any questions that anyone here might have. How do I encourage my husband to meditate? He is supportive of me and believes in meditation, but he does not do it himself. So, trying to get anyone, but especially a loved one, to change is very, very, very difficult. Anyone who's ever tried to get their loved one to do what they want, whether it's quitting smoking, quitting drinking, eating better, exercising more, meditating, all of the things that we know would be good for them. And we think it's just out of my selflessness, my love, that I want this person to do it. And it's so hard. It's so hard to constantly feel like you're banging your head against a wall, trying to get someone you love to do something that you know is really good for them. And yet this is a dilemma that so many people face. It's a dilemma I think probably almost anyone. Anyone who's married, anyone who's got kids, anyone who's got parents with whom they are in a relationship, trying to help them navigate their lives. The dilemma with it is, it doesn't work. It almost never, ever, ever works. The very best that you get sometimes, and even this is very rare, but the best you get sometimes is what we call behavior modification. Meaning they'll go through the motions, but they don't actually believe. Now, in some cases, going through the motions is okay. If it's about exercise or eating better, you don't actually need them to really believe it. You just need them to do it. Even if they're just aapko kush karne ke liye, chini ko choda, ya pakode ko chode. Even just because they love you, fear to be, it's a great thing. Their heart thanks you. Even if they only go for a walk or go to the gym because you want them to, fear to be, it's still a good thing. But when you look at things like meditation, well, simply sitting here with my eyes closed, thinking, this is the stupidest thing I've ever done. Is it 10 minutes yet? I can't believe she makes me do this. I really should be stronger and tell her I don't want to, but hare yaar, kahan ladai karenge, chalo, chup chop bette raho. Like, nobody's benefiting. Right? And when you know your loved one deeply, you also know that they're not really doing it. That they're just aapko kush karne ke liye, they're sitting next to you, their eyes are closed, they're not moving. But you know ki kuch nahi ho raha hai. And this is where it gets really, really challenging. You're on a spiritual path. You're benefiting from it. and you really want your loved one, whether it's a husband in this case, your children, your parents, you want them to do it. The problem is that when someone starts meditating, praying, just out of this behavior modification, aapko khush karne ke liye, you actually end up worse off. Because in their mind now they have developed a negativity about this. Now this is just something they are doing under duress, majboori se. And now you can be sure that they're not actually going to develop an internal love of it, because they've already told themselves, ye bas aapko khush karne ke liye, usme kuch bhi nahi hai, there's nothing there. There's no point. And so you're better off, actually in those cases, not trying to push them at all. It only works when they come to it. And they'll only come to it when they see that there's something there. Right? A light doesn't have to send out an advertisement. The bugs come to it. Right? Just automatically, they're drawn to it. We are drawn to holy people, to gurus. They don't have to hang out a sign that says, I am the most enlightened, best master. Come and sit at my feet. We feel them. There's an energetic pull that says, I want some of that. It reminds me of a daughter of a very good friend of mine who, now she's probably mid-20s, but go back 20 years, she was here, she was about 4 or 5. And she was noticing that all these people kept going in for private meetings with Pujya Swamiji. And she says to me, her mom and I are sitting in my office, and she says, I need a private meeting with Swamiji. So we said, okay. So we got it done very officially. Like, we didn't walk her in. We had one of the boys officially come, and he took her from my office, and he brought her in just like any guest who was here to meet Swamiji. So her mom and I are waiting for her in my office. A few minutes later, she comes back, and she's got her hands like this, and she says, I feel so lovey, 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 lovey. And she says, I don't want to touch anything. I don't want to take a shower. I don't want to wash my hands. I don't want to do anything. I just want to keep feeling lovey, 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 lovey. And to this day, that is absolutely the best explanation of what it feels like to be in Pujya Swamiji's presence. Spoken from the mouth of this beautiful child. I mean, you feel it. You are in the presence of love. You're in the presence of divine light. And I mention this because when you want someone to meditate, to pray, to come with you to kirtan, to come with you to the temple, to come to satsang, to come to an ashram, there's got to be something there that they feel or that they experience through you. So when we would go to Los Angeles, all of Paloma, that was the name of the girl, all of her friends would want to come and meet, because even though they had never met Pujya Swamiji, Paloma had told them all about him in whatever her beautiful, 4 or 5-year-old way of explaining, and it made them all so excited to come and get some of that. to feel that, to experience that. So if you want to convince someone to meditate, it's actually a beautiful challenge, because what it means is your meditation must change you, mold you in such a way that when you emerge from your meditation, you are different. That spouse or that child or that parent sees, God, she was really stressed out, really upset. And then she went and she sat and she did this meditation thing for a little while. And then she was totally different. Suddenly. No drinking, no drugs, no bar, no big fight, no shopping, no week out of the house. Just a few minutes, a little bit of time in her quiet corner, meditation corner, temple area, shrine, whatever you call it. That's the thing that is going to make people around you say, wow, उसमें कुछ है, कोई दम है उसमें. There's something powerful there. Let me try it. Because everybody gets stressed. Everybody gets upset. No one enjoys it. No one says, oh wow, this is so great. I'm so glad I'm stressed out again. Fun. It doesn't feel good. And so if someone you're living with has demonstrated a solution to that, inevitably other people are going to be drawn to it. They're going to be like, let me try. What you'll see, though, that's interesting is everybody's got egos that are so funny. They may try it when you're not in the house. Right? Like they wouldn't want you to know that they've started this thing you've been trying to get them to do. So sometime when you're not in the house, maybe they'll go and they'll sit in your meditation room just to see what's the magic. So don't necessarily expect that they're going to come to you and say, oh my God, you were so right. People's egos are really vichitra cheeze. They're very, very strange and unusual things. But that's okay, we live with them. And so just you meditate, you pray, you do yoga, you come to satsang, you come to ashrams. Slowly, 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 as you change, and as you really reflect that change in your world, people will see it and they will want some of it. But don't try to push them. Otherwise, you'll turn them off of it forever. Just have faith. They will come. Are there any questions that anyone here has? Yes.
Good evening, Sadhviji. It is my very first time to see you and visiting Rishikesh. I'm a meditator and I'm a facilitator of meditation, yoga and Sudarshan Kriya. Yeah. But sometimes I feel that I go deep within, being in that state of blissful mind and consciousness level, I feel there is some lack like there is a misery, there's some stress. So how to come out of it? The second thing is what you have just mentioned. Once you start coming here and doing meditation, the whole world can be changed. So of what I feel is the meditation is once we have heard this proverb, right, since our childhood, that one infected fish infects the pond. So why can't a meditator creates the environment? Yeah, it creates some parameter. Once you meditate, your aura, your vibration reaches to your family members. You need not to push. That's a great lesson from you today. Thank you so very much.
Sure. I want to go back to your first question first.
Please, yeah.
When you mentioned that in this state of bliss consciousness, in this state of bliss consciousness, you mentioned that there's misery and there's stress. You mentioned that in this state of bliss consciousness, that you're experiencing also misery and stress. While you meditate, in the midst of that consciousness, or at other times of the day?